Hello and welcome back to the field office. I'm dressed slightly differently today, and based on like the item behind me, you might get an idea of what I'm going to be talking about. Recently, I went to London to see a load of different Bond influencers, one of which was Joe Darlington, and I'd purchased the Volume 1 second edition of his book and was going to London to see him and get volume 2 of Being James Bond. While I was on the train, I was reading the first couple of chapters of this book. The second chapter deals with skiing. Now, James Bond and skiing have been... we've seen James Bond ski since On Her Majesty's Secret Service in '69. We've seen Roger Moore's Bond ski as well, all the way up to Pierce Brosnan in The World Is Not Enough. And we've seen snow scenes in Spectre, although not skiing. So what I wanted to talk to you about today was my skiing equipment that I have. Now, I've been skiing a number of times over the years. I first went when I was 18. On my second trip, I bought all of my ski kit, which I still own and have used for a few skiing trips, but also to go to the Snow Dome in Milton Keynes to occasionally just to sort of have another go at it. I haven't been on a proper skiing holiday for around 10 years now. It is something I'd like to revisit. I just wanted to go through the kit. Now, the reason why I've bought in the Being James Bond book 2 this is because when I was reading it, it affirmed to me the kit that I'd purchased when I went skiing the first time, and I thought it was worthwhile going through the items that I have so that if you are thinking about going skiing, or if you want to invest in skiing attire, what to sort of go for. Now, the majority of my skiing attire comes from Helly Hansen. Now, I purchased the vast majority of this probably in my early 20s, and it was from the Helly Hansen store at Bicester Village. So Bicester Village is an outlet shopping centre, very high-end brands. And obviously we've discussed Empeel being there, Baroni, Oliver Brown have a location there now as well. And Helly Hansen were in the process, I think, of actually moving out when I got most of this kit. Now, up to this point, when I first went skiing, the second time I went skiing actually, the last James Bond to have skied was Pierce Brosnan, and he had a very much of a brown ensemble, although at least that's what I remembered anyway. But in his, he had like an all-in-one ski suit, and I didn't kind of want that. So I kind of wanted to go for the jacket and trousers because after my first trip skiing, I knew I could get too hot. So I wanted to be able to remove layers depending on how hot it was. And there also is a Bond connection to Helly Hansen. Helly Hansen provided kit to the crew for Spectre, and there was a number of items that were being sold on the 007 store. I'm not sure when it stopped, but that was Helly Hansen crew kit that was used for the snow scenes in Spectre. Kind of a connection, although Bond himself hasn't ever worn, to my knowledge, Helly Hansen. The majority of, I think, Bond's attire, up to at least The World Is Not Enough, came from Bogner. So, first of all, as you can see, I am wearing one of the sort of base layers. Now, I have 5 or 6 of these base layers in different combinations of colours. Some are like a half zip, and some of them came with leggings as well, which is very important for very cold weather skiing, is to have like the correct base layer. Second thing would be I had these fleeces. Now, I've got, again, a combination of different ones. I've got half zips and I've got full zips. I bought 3 of these at the time, thinking that essentially if I went for a skiing trip for a week, I would need probably a base layer for every day, and then a fleece layer every 2 days maybe, depending on how wet I would get from the snow. If it was chilly, if I kept falling over or whatever. So having this sort of base layer, really nice for a couple of reasons. One, if you do need to sort of add more layers to keep yourself warm, but also, like for instance, if it was quite a sunny day, I might skip the jacket and just have the base, this fleece layer on. It's not waterproof, it's not water resistant at all, so if I fell over I'd get wet and cold probably quite quickly. The probably idea would be to just take the fleece off and have the jacket. But these are, again, you can wear these sort of in the chalet at the end of the day. I remember one of the ski trips that I went on, you went up to the mountain very cold, come down like summer. So having some sort of ability to sort of dress up for the cold and dress down for the warmth is sort of crucial. So there's this. Obviously, a beanie to keep your head warm, especially when you're sort of going down in the cold. Keep your ears warm. Ski socks. Now these are really, really thick socks, and I wouldn't even wear these for like going hiking or anything like that because they are that thick. So they're, obviously when you've got ski boots, which I don't own, I would hire the ski boot usually. I would wear these, maybe even a thin pair of socks underneath them. That is not recommended, but it's what I did, just so that, again, keeping your feet supported, because those boots are quite heavy, they're quite restrictive. So having a really thick pair of ski socks, and again, multiple pairs of these as well. So I have like 4 or 5 of these pairs of ski socks. The reason I wear thinner socks underneath was so that I could the longevity of these. But again, if these got cold, I had a number of that. Wet. I have a number of these so that I could change them if they were too wet. And carrying a pair with you. So I also had a backpack, which was a white Helly Hansen backpack, and that was ideal for carrying water, snacks, maps, but also like spare things that I would need, like if I got wet or cold or anything like that, I could just sort of switch a few things around. The jacket. Now the jacket and trousers came together, and as you can see, they match. It's a kind of I think it's a greeny brown, but I'm not 100% certain. I'm colourblind, so but at the time, I thought this was quite similar to what Brosnan wore in The World Is Not Enough. I think he probably wears something more of a darker grey, but without looking it up, I don't know. I realise my head's kind of out of shot here. So I'm currently filming this on the 1st of January. The reason why I'm sort of talking about ski wear, we're about to get snow. Forecast anyway, so we'll see in the next few days. As you can see, this jacket is a proper ski jacket. It's got here the clips, so if I was wearing the ski trousers, this would go around me, and then basically this would protect me from any sort of snow getting. I just realised the mic's probably a bit muffled, so I do apologise. Let's just take the mic off and hold it. So you've got this sort of belted bit, which basically creates a almost impenetrable barrier from the snow. So if I fell over in a certain way, if I fell on going skiing this way, and I'm going down the hill that way, it's not scooping up any snow to go into the jacket. So it's creating a barrier for that. I've got a pocket here for which I would normally carry my phone or my headphones in. A zip pocket here. Now I would also keep my ski pass in one of these pockets, probably this one, which is zipped, so I could easily access it so that I can get onto the ski lifts or other areas of the resort. So that's an important one there. I've got hand warmer pockets in the side. I've got Velcro pockets there. And on the inside, just undo that bit. On the inside, again, more zip pockets here. I've also got under the arm, and I'm going to take the jacket off for this, so bear with me. it is getting hot in here. Let's just reclip that there. So I've got here zips under the arms to allow a breathable element in. So again, skiing, you can get very hot skiing. So having breathability in the coat so that you can let some cool air in, cool yourself down as you're skiing is important. So having one of these, and it goes all the way up here, so it gives you a nice sort of breathable air there, should you need it, on both sides. On the inside, we've got an inside pocket here. Lots of, this keeps you really, really warm. And I've occasionally used the jacket for very cold weather, just walking around in this country, just because it is such a nice warm jacket to have. Nothing up there on this side, but yeah, this also comes with a hood, which is not attached. I have no idea what I've done with that, but essentially I can zip attach the hood. So again, very cold, windy skiing weather, you do want to have that hood on. And it has a little peak to it so that I can see out, but it's not causing too much disruption to my ears or anything along that line. I tend to probably ski without the hood, to be honest, because I find it gets in the way. But unzipping it, sticking it in the backpack. That's a really good winter coat. Ski coat is a very good ski coat. I would take the, if I ever needed to replace these, which I probably won't, because I just don't go skiing enough to be able to sort of, I think, warrant it. I would probably choose Helly Hansen again, because the quality of the stuff that I have from them is just really, really good for this sort of skiing environment. As for the trousers, so trousers have got belt loops, they've got adjustable Velcro side adjusters as well. And again, you want to make sure that you're comfortable, but it's tight, so that again, if you fall over in a certain way and you're being dragged backwards, for instance, you're not scooping snow into your trousers, because that's the last thing you want. We've got a Velcro pocket at the back here, which is also zipped. Again, you don't want to get snow into your pockets. You've got little loops here. Again, you could attach your pass to the trousers. If you're taking your jacket off, it's probably ideal to sort of attach it to here. Usually it's on one of those little zip clips, so that you can just sort of get to the pass, let go, and it just goes straight back onto your trousers there. Forward pockets, again, zipped. Leg pockets as well. And then on the bottoms, you've got these sort of two things. You've got your leg comes out of here, and it's a stretchy bit here to go over your boot. It's got some clips, a clip here to clip this to your ski boot. And then once you've got your boots on, you've got your poppers here to tighten that around the boot to make it almost look seamless going from leg to boot. But that's important to, again, make sure you don't get snow into your boots, into the bottom of your trouser legs. This keeps you watertight. These trousers are great, and again, on the other side, more zip pockets, poppers and so on. And again, on this side, you've got the same sort of attachment to the boot, as well as then clipping or poppering your trouser leg up around your boot. Really, they are, they do feel heavy, but they need to feel sort of like they're going to keep you warm, and they're going to keep you dry, more importantly, as well. So that is my ski suit. Been looking around for before starting this video and haven't found it, is what I would call a snood. And that's just basically almost like a scarf, but you just stick it over your head. It's not a scarf that you wrap around. It goes over your head, and it just creates that neck barrier around your neck. Again, great for if you're not wearing a fleece that has a high collar.
So hi, I'm editing the video at the moment and realised it is quite long, so I'm going to actually split it into a part 1 and a part 2. So part 2 will be available at another point in time. This is the end of part 1. During this video, I've been referencing being James Bond, specifically the skiing chapter in book 1. Please go and find Joe Darlington. Book 1 and book 2 are available on Amazon. And for now, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe to the channel, share the video with somebody you think might find it beneficial. Until next time, thank you for watching.